Welcome back to AFL Timeline History, and guys, we have moved on to Madden 25 PS4 Season 3, and the talent pool has thinned out even a little bit more. I did not participate in this season. I'm trying to look just offhand. I think that may be it, though. It may just have been me. We did bring in, however, E-Dub. E-Dub came in and took over the Tampa Bay Bucks. Nobody knew anything about him at this point in time. But Magic, he's become one of our top owners in all of AFL.
Yeah, he's a guy who gets his team every year, and that's because he's rated highly.
So E-Dub
that was not helpful.
that's very great. That was a great description. But we're gonna go ahead and throw it to Stokes and see if Stokes has anything to add on to that. Stokes, what do you think about E-Dub?
I think E-Dub, he's a fun guy. He's fun on Facebook. He's amusing. He's good at Madden, which is most important in my opinion. We want good players in the league, and he's one of our best owners, and he's a lot of fun to be around, and I really enjoy having him in the league. But most importantly, he's one of those guys that really understands the game itself and is good at it.
He's a good player. He commissions his own league, so he understands where we're coming from with certain things. He's a good guy. I like him outside of Madden. Also, he's active on Facebook. He's one of our top guys on the field and off. Just another 5-star recruit. We talked about we got Mega before, we got Vane, and now we get E-Dub out of this PS4 adventure. So this has been a huge success for us to be able to reel in those kind of players. So we talked about before the talent field in this league wasn't necessarily up to snuff. And on the last show, we talked about Stop Cheese got to the bowl and just couldn't get a bowl win. And, it's the kind of game that might haunt him now because he still has yet to get one in AFL. Another guy who was a perennial bridesmaid was SJR. But what SJR did, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but he took advantage of a good situation. This was a situation where there was no Stokes, was no Nino, was no Joker, was no K-Will. And, and he went in, got to a bowl, and won a bowl, and he dominated Gambino in the bowl. I think there was a disconnect in the second half, and the score was so lopsided that SJR just played computer, I think, to get the win. SJR gets a bowl, gets in the record books in AFL. Nobody's taking that away from him. This is more a compliment to him that I think a guy like Stop Cheese might look back at his time in AFL PS4 Madden 25 and just be like, man, that was a missed opportunity. There was no missed opportunity for SJR Stokes. He's in the record books. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah, that's you can never take that away from them unless they're K-Will. You can take that away from them. Anyway,
K-Will's bowl win was a fantasy.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just like any of our other winners, they're there forever, and it's still, regardless of who you're playing and whatever the circumstances are, you still got to play a bunch of one-on-one games where anything can happen, and you still have to win those games. So I mean, it's always impressive.
So SJR's playoff run, he took on the Dolphins, who for the life of me, I don't remember. That was Rilo. How come all these surprising playoff wins always have Rilo involved? So SJR beat Rilo's Dolphins in the divisional round. He beat Prime's Patriots in the conference championship. And Prime was actually a wild card team. He beat Pick's Bengals, and then he upset Cheesin's Bills. They were division rivals, so that was a big win for Prime. Then he couldn't get past SJR in the conference title game. And SJR knocks out Gambino. Magic, tell the people about Gambino.
He's a rapper. The kids are very keen on his lyrics and his beats. He's young, so they call him childish. That's all I got.
Well, that was pretty close. Definitely not the guy we're talking about here, but Gambino is actually a guy that was with us, or was with me in another league I joined on PS4 when I first got my PS4. I pulled him over. He was a decent player. He's a guy that had no business being near a bowl. I mean, I have no idea how he beat E-Dub in the conference championship game, except for the fact that E-Dub, I guess, is just, getting used to his team. But E-Dub actually ended KJ's reign. They played in the second round, and E-Dub's Bucks beat KJ's Cowboys. KJ had a bye. His Cowboys were sitting there in the second round trying to three-peat, and E-Dub ruined it for him, but then he couldn't get past the Gambino train, I guess. But then the train got off the rails against SJR. So Let's talk about SJR, guys. He's been consistently one of our better owners, and he's always been a top-level player, and maybe not in that elite category, but always a guy that doesn't surprise you when he makes the playoffs, and he's always good for one or two deep playoff runs every year. Gets his bowl win here. Good for him to do that, but this is kind of an SJR episode, so we've had a chance to talk about the ups and downs of SJR, the fact we had to boot him in Madden 20 or in Madden 12, the fact that he came back in Madden 13 and really elevated himself. We're going to get into some stuff in Madden 16 where he really stepped up and helped the league. Stokes, just quickly, what do you think about SJR and the value he brings to AFL?
I think he, other than the fact that he's been the real MVP, footing the Daddy Leagues bills for us, but I think that he provides a sense of realism, I suppose. I mean, one of the
yeah, because his last name.
Real. Unintentional.
Great job, Stokes. Great job.
He had no idea he did that.
Hey. Anyway, I think that he, for the most part, that's what he's looking for, and he doesn't like to conform to the things that are breaking the game, or he would rather complain about it. Or is that the right way to put it?
Yeah, he's a guy he's a guy that loves CFM. I think he might love CFM more than he loves Madden, and that's not a knock on him there, but whatever. Goes back to BDFL. He was helping Big Dog build his website. He helped us build our site whenever we first moved over to AFL. He loves CFM. He loves the sim environment. He would rather not have success, but have us be in an environment that he thinks is sim than, him win 3 or 4 bowls, but in the back of his mind know that he's like breaking a rule or being unsim. So he's a great asset in that way. He's always been a guy that anytime we ask for help is there to help out. He went out of his way to pay for the Daddy Leagues. To me, we don't rank these guys. Well, we do when it comes to team selection, but we don't really try to rank these guys because we have, at this point in time, we have such a strong core. But he's right up there with anybody as far as the importance. I'd say he's almost one of the founding fathers of AFL because he was there with us from the beginning. We did have the small hiccup in Madden 12, but truly one of the best owners we have, and he gets into the record books with a Super Bowl win here. So, guys, this is the end of the line for Madden 25 PS4 for this particular season. But as we transition to PS4, we learned something we could do. We could do a restart league because of the updated rosters they do that were available for franchise. And we're going to get into a new Madden 25 league, a third Madden 25 league, Madden 25 PS4 Restart League. We'll talk about that next time on AFL Timeline Review.
Realism was awesome.
So SJR is like the Phillip Rivers of owners?